Yeah, you're shining.
Welcome back, everybody.
Boom.
Oh wow, Scott came through with a mic. I came through with a professional camera. I sent you the link also to so we can have this going today. But here we are.
You know, the good thing about Riverside, though, is that if it's daylight for me, the video can look okay.
Well,
Just straight
you
through
have
the
a
Mac.
newer what's it called, MacBook also. So your front camera is probably better than mine.
I don't know about that. Like, how old are you saying your MacBook is? Let me look at the age of this. This is
Dude,
a
my thing,
2017.
yeah, my thing is ancient. It's 2015. Look what I'm using
So
as a
I
coaster.
wonder. Oh, that's a little teaser as to what's to come with the conversation, huh? Look at
Mm-hmm.
my man drinking straight vodka like a boss. I like that.
In the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm. That's how your boy used to roll. Would be sauced up by
Yeah,
noon.
yeah, that was the bad times. Yeah, there's a better Scott now.
A much busier Scott. Yeah, we just haven't been able to connect, but we're gonna do. I'm gonna do a better job. It falls on me. I've just been really hard to pin down between traveling and just all sorts of crazy shit going on that's kept me down. But I need to do a better job. You know, I was thinking about that today. I was prepared to come on here and make a million excuses, and then I finally had to be like, these are just bullshit excuses. Like you can, was I tired and did I really have a lot of stuff going on? Sure. But did I also fuck around and watch YouTube videos on, Platinum Mike Perry and other people like that? Sure. Or,
Speaking of YouTube, if I may interject,
yeah, hit
I
us.
thought I was gonna be retired by noon, dropping the dimes this morning, but here we are.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah, but
It's,
continue.
well, no, no, you're right. But see, like, it's always like a fine line of like where like what you're doing is bullshit or like because sometimes like I don't know, am I wasting time by laying here and watching YouTube on like a break, or like do you need that bit of R&R just to clear your mind? Like it's just been a weird few weeks, but I'm pretty sure that I fully prepared to come on here with a shit ton of excuses, but I think they all just end up being bullshit, and I should have just found time.
Yeah, I mean, as I was getting ready right now, I was thinking I went to bed at midnight because I was editing some videos that I was posting this morning, and I woke up at 6:15. I've been going nonstop today. It's already 1 p.m. and I feel like nothing's gotten done. There's still a thousand things that gotta get done. The dishes gotta get done upstairs. I have to do this editing before I head out. I wanted to film another video before I headed out. I have a shoot this afternoon. I gotta stop by the vet and try to feed Tank. We'll go into that a little bit. Um, so there's like all these things that have to, and I've been up since 6. I was in bed. I didn't even go to bed. I fell asleep on the couch at midnight. You know what I mean? It's like it never feels like there's enough time for everything that's got to get done. Nothing's ever going to completely be done. You're never going to be fully done. Um, so I guess maybe in a way, kind of like take the stress away a little bit. Like it's never all going to be done. So you just have to pick and choose what do you want to get done today.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, we talked about that earlier. Like you're never with the shit we do, we're never going to be fully caught up. Like it's you can get caught up enough before you go on a vacation, but you're never going to be. Let me
Yeah.
find. Introduce me to the motherfucker. We told Eddie Full Rex we'd slow down on the MFs. Introduce me to the cat that has all his shit caught up.
Yeah, there's nobody. And you know what? I was listening to something yesterday on YouTube. It was and I this is what I try to do is when I'm driving, I try to listen to things that like are either inspirational or motivational, whatever the case may be, or something that something new that gets put in your brain. And it was a divorce lawyer talking about like I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought completely. My bad, dude. What were we just talking
Um,
about?
like time and getting able to do things. Shit. You know what? You lost your train of thought. Mine. I lost mine as well. I don't know what the fuck we were talking about.
What a professional podcast we have. Clearly, it's been a while. Welcome everybody to the Flashing People podcast after a month and a half off.
Hello. Wow, we really just both drew blanks. That is vodka in there,
No,
isn't it?
there it is. You were talking about, do you know anybody that gets things done all the time or has their everything together? And the answer is no. And this isn't nothing. There's nothing new. But he was talking about how, as a divorce lawyer, he would see couple after couple come in and compare. They would compare what they would see on social media of people with getting things done or a happy relationship. And he goes, all of them are saying the same thing, and nobody's happy. So all the shit that you see is like, it just looks nice for other people, but nobody is fully that complete in their happiness. So if you think that you never get things done and you feel like, you're the only one that's like, we all feel overwhelmed with how much crap that needs to get done.
Yeah. Yeah. I just need to get around this. I'm almost there. Like, I'm almost caught up. Like, and by being caught up, it doesn't mean that I have nothing to do. Being caught up is having been so far backed up to getting to a breathing point between, because like I've been taking on a lot more video lately, which that's probably what's set me back the most, because it's a whole different workflow. And when you do video, like when you do photos, like I just have to edit photos. When you do video, there's things like J cuts, and there's things that you have to do to try to sequence everything right to tell the story better. Like, for me, it's just a little bit more complicated than like showing up, shooting photos, and editing them and delivering them. Like for the video, it's been a pain.
Yeah, I mean, I always say that about photo and video. It's like for us, it is a little bit easier on the photo side because we just have to capture like the photo, like one photo, and we've captured the moment. Where in video, if something's about to happen and you weren't ready, now you got to get your settings right, you got to get the motion right, you got to go, because if you caught the footage but it's all shaky, you didn't get the moment. So there's a lot more at stake, and it's a lot more high pressure when it comes to video. And then editing, everything's got to flow together nicely. So yeah, dude, I'm not a big fan of video. Like the lighting setup, the mic setup that I have here, that is kind of more what I'm leaning towards with our YouTube channel, because I just doing vlogs and all that. I'm like, God damn, like it's just so much work. Like, I don't know if I want to put in that many hours to do that when I can do this and then speak about, how we shot it and things like that.
That being said, I am going to buy that course, that Casey Neistat course, because I am intrigued to see, because that dude is just so smart. Did you listen to him on a Flagrant 2 podcast?
I think I watched some of it. Yeah.
It was really, yeah, those podcasts, like some of those podcasts go too long, 3 and 4 hours. Like, unless it's somebody that's just electrifying, like I'll be honest, like I could listen to an Andrew Tate podcast for probably 3 to 4 hours. But there's some cats that it's like, it's getting boring. But I'll go listen to that.
With us included, like, I don't think a 4-hour podcast between me and you would be that interesting. But a 30, 40-minute, easy to swallow, and then catch us next week or in a month and a half, that's a little easier. That's a little easier to serve, and it's a little easier for people to listen to. I get what you're saying. There's, some people like Jordan Peterson and who's that other guy? Very smart people, but I can't listen to them for more than 10 minutes.
There's no, the little Jewish guy?
No, what the heck is his name? The guy, he has a little bit of a beard, very short hair. Huberman. Huberman. Yeah. And they're very good speakers. They're extremely smart, but they're not engaging. I can only listen to about 10 minutes of that, and then I'm like, okay, I tune out. I like halfway through it, I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, I completely zone out.
Yeah, I've been listening to like a lot. I've stopped podcasts for the most part. I've been listening to a lot of debates on YouTube. They're just interesting as shit. People going back and forth. Now, the podcast I do listen to religiously is the damn Taste Buds, which is the stupidest.
I was gonna say,
it's so stupid. It's so stupid, but because it's so mindless and stupid, like it's entertaining as shit. It's funny because these two guys, they get so enraged when they're arguing over, like, fucking lasagna versus pizza, and one of them takes like they get so angry, it's hilarious.
I'm not
But
gonna
yeah,
lie.
no,
When you send me those videos, I don't watch them. There's a level of stupidity that there's only so much I can take, and that is just pure silliness. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little too stick in the mud. But every time you send me that, I'm like, I'm not watching this bullshit. Like it's just it doesn't do it for me. I don't see the entertainment.
you don't watch them.
Not those. No, I watch every. I promise you, I watch every single other video you send me. Those I'm like, yeah, I'm tuning out.
That's crazy.
Then I apologize.
Wow. We got big things to talk about. We got big modifiers to talk about. You, being a Magmod ambassador, had the there we go. God bless America. That thing's that thing's big as
Gotcha.
shit.
You want to see something real big? Hold on.
Side view. Uh-oh. He's taking his belt off. He's got his belt off right now. Everybody prepare yourself for the TNK Hoggy. Where'd he go? Riveting.
Ooh, look, it's the size of my face,
That
and
is
that's the
huge.
yeah, that's the Magsphere.
Damn.
So yeah, we're gonna nerd out for a little bit. So if you're not into photography for the next 5 minutes, we apologize.
That thing
Um,
looks big too.
Magmod. What's that?
Well, here, let me set you up. My man's a Magmod ambassador, so they're able to get their hands on new product and new releases ahead of time to help create content, check the products out. I'm assuming that y'all get to have some feedback, maybe make some suggestions and things like that before the final rollout. My man, 50 grand here, had the new MagSphere XL, the grid, and everything else that comes with it. He produced some fire images. Check out my man's YouTube page because he's got some videos up there using it and photos that he's got from it. So, yeah, give us the intro. Tell us about this new product rollout.
I know. I think that was the intro, and thank you for that.
Nice. Yeah.
So I did post a couple of videos, actually 3 videos. That's what I was talking about. The release for it was this morning, and I already had one video done. I had already edited most of the second one by like 9 p.m. And then I spent the next hour or so editing the last one. So there's 3 videos. One of them is explaining the whole system. So everything from beginning to end, it's about 20 minutes long. The second video is using the Mag Grid, which is this guy right here. I actually use the tighter grid because there's 2 of them that they send you. And that one is a really, really tight beam. So when you're shooting something and you don't want it to spill all over the walls, or you don't want it to spill, on a certain area, put that on and it just really narrows down the light. So it's a really tight beam. And then the other video is with the Mag Sphere, which is this one. And that one, honestly, dude, like, I don't really use a mag box that much. I don't really use big modifiers to begin with because they're a pain in the butt and they're usually like parachutes. They want to fly away. But with this, I was able to use it in a lot more like situations where I wouldn't use that, and the lighting was just a lot softer, like significantly softer. So this is one of the few pieces of gear that I was actually very excited about. And I'm not just saying it because they sent it to us. Like I'm using it this afternoon on another shoot too.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is like having worked with you and just seeing what you do. Like I watched your, correct me if I'm wrong, you posted a video the other day on how you shot this with the Tamron 20 to 40, and I think you went bare flash, right?
I'm not, because I was in the 8200. So the 8200, it is powerful enough for 90% of the situations, but on like that 10% where it's like middle of the day, if I put a modifier on, it might not give me enough juice out of it. So in a situation like this, the new Magmod stuff would be better because it's on a bigger flash. It's twice as powerful, so pretty much any situation is going to be enough flash.
So do you roll around now with more of a beefier flash setup, like the 400 or 600?
The 400, yeah. So the 400 is like probably like yay big, I would say, more or less. I mean, I have
Yeah.
it right here. Also, I can grab it. Let me grab that thing.
Do you think the 600 is just too much for most scenarios?
And no, the 600 and the 400 are pretty much the same thing. Both of them are huge. So in retrospect, I should have just kept the 600 if I'm honest, but whatever. So this is the 400. It's pretty massive. I don't have the battery, so give it like another inch back here, inch or two. Yeah, probably about an inch. It's charging upstairs. And this is the mag grade that I was talking about. It's a slightly tighter thing. You see it?
Yeah.
And then that's the dome that collapses. Took me
I mean,
like
it's
three takes.
damn near the size of a 600, isn't it? The 400.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Yeah, and they make it so it collapses for two reasons. One, when it's, and I didn't know this when I was shooting, but I found out after. When it's like this and you put the bubble on it, it spreads a lot more. If you bring it out and put the bubble on it, it narrows down the beam a little bit more. So I like
Oh,
it. It's very well thought out.
it's almost like a snoot.
Not that much. You would need to put this on to really be like a snoot, but it definitely narrows it down a little more instead of just spreading all over the place.
Damn, that's what's up. Dang, I might have to get a 400 now.
I mean, don't get it yet. I would say next time you come, or if we shoot somewhere together, I'll bring it with me, and you can kind of play around with it. But just the sample images, I'll send you some of those. Like the softness on it is very different than what we normally do. I feel like it doesn't look as hard.
Damn, I'm hard right now just thinking about it. The boys are back in town.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, so they had a. So you don't use the mag box much, right?
No, the thing is, it's a little too big to carry around all the time. So like if I'm gonna use it, or if I'm gonna use like a softbox, an umbrella, or anything like that, to be more generic, I would only use it if I'm doing like headshots. So if I know we're
Yeah.
doing headshots and I know we're not going to be moving much, and I know that I can either hold it steady, weigh it down, or have an assistant to hold it, then it would work. For an engagement session, for weddings, I can't, I don't want to carry that around because I feel like it slows me down. So it has to be more of a controlled environment.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing that a lot. Like I used to use it all the time, and now I've stopped using it because I like to use the smaller light stands more to be quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't use that with that big ass box on there.
No,
Uh,
I have a specific light stand for it. It's a bigger
yeah.
light stand.
So I've been just doing a lot more of just sphere and grid and bare bulb lately. It's just
I
too
mean,
much to bring to.
that's our bread and butter right there. The grid, the CTO, and the bubble. Like that's if we have that, we're going to be able to create any image that you guys, anything that you see on Instagram, we created with either one of those three things. Like that's really all you need, generally speaking.
So do you get to keep this stuff? Is that how this
Oh
works?
yeah, yeah. So they sent it over. We're allowed to keep it and then give them feedback, just like you said. So even
Dang.
after it's launched and stuff like that, let's say a year from now something's going on that's a little wonky, we give them feedback and then they kind of let us know, hey, we're working on it, we're going to switch it, or they let you know like, hey, you're using it incorrectly, dummy. Like this is what you're supposed to do. For example, you see how I'm going to show you on the camera. I hope you can see it. You see how it has? You probably won't, but there's like little lightning bolts here.
I can see it.
Okay, so the little lightning bolts there. If you attach, let's say this, and you attach it like this, I believe that's how it. No, so the lightning bolts have to be. Yeah, you see right there, it doesn't really line up, so it doesn't really attach. And there, basically, what Trevor said is like, hey, just put it the other way, like that, and it attaches better. So there's a certain way that it has to be attached, and it doesn't work. It only works one way on that side. There's no lightning bolts. You see that?
Yeah.
So
Dang.
yeah, like things like that, where it's like user error, and they let you know these things, and then you can spread the word and let other people know.
I'll go check I'm going to check my mailbox again. Mine must have got lost in the mail.
I mean, I would imagine so, since honestly, the Magmod Instagram looks like it's got Stockton photography. They post you on like at least twice a week at this point.
I'm trying. Look, remember I told you Trevor gave me some advice, and so I listened to it, sent him a bunch of stuff. I try to comment on everybody's posts that they do.
So what you're telling me is that you'll listen to Trevor's advice,
No. This was your
but when you're
advice.
okay, you said it was Trevor. All right, my bad, my bad.
No. What Trevor told me what to do, but I was being hard headed and was like, I don't know if I had to do that. And then you were like, dude, how hard is it just to engage with people? so what's your advice? But there's other things that you've told me to do that I still need to do.
Yeah. Oh, I see you
Yeah.
posted on our Instagram. All right. What other subjects were we going to tackle? I know we wrote a few things down, so I'm going to look.
Oh man, I got some tales about some brides not paying deposits.
Proceed.
It's just like they'll sign like I got one bad cookie, let me put it that way, who is no longer a cookie of mine. The cookie has been removed.
Good.
We're getting rid of these carbohydrates. I got rid of the cookie, but it was just like it's the first time I've encountered foolishness to this level where they've signed a contract, everything's done. Shorty's like, "Hey, I'll pay you the deposit," and then I don't really ask for it ever. I've never had to, and then 2 months had passed, and it's like, "Hey, you know what? This date is not reserved until you pay this deposit." Still haven't heard from Shorty, so I blessed her with an email and told her, "See you later."
You put the fish back into the water, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yep. But
And
I need to do better with language on my contract and language in my communication with them as soon as I send a contract, I've learned that I need to do better with letting them know, hey, put some urgency on you. This date is not held until I get a contract back signed and until I get the deposit. I
would
think that,
one say would one say that Scott has been bullheaded? Because let me explain to the people. I've been telling Scott for years at this point, and it comes from not because I know it all. It comes from a point where I messed up a few times, and I realized I was running into that same issue that Scott just described. So remember, dude, what I told you is that I put at the end of the message, at the end of the, thank you for booking, all that, that your date will be reserved for the next 7 days while we wait for the deposit and the contract to be submitted. If the contract and deposit are not submitted within 7 days, we will be releasing the date, your date. Since we've implemented that, we've had, actually, funny enough, this week, we've had one time where somebody took a little bit longer than 7 days. And I sent her a message and I let her know, hey, just letting you know, it's gone over the 7 date mark. We will have to release a date. If there's something going on, please let me know. Or if not, I can extend it for a couple of more days. Let me know. Immediately she responded and said, oh, I'm sorry, that was my fault. I forgot to forward it to, I believe it was her mother who's paying the deposit. And she said, yeah, we're going to take care of it right now. Within a day, it was taken care of. When you have to give them some sort of deadline, otherwise, you know what I mean? Like they just think it's, oh, whatever, he's holding on to it. It's like, no, that's not how it works. And if I may expand on that, I would say even if you're doing a family session of a family that you've known for 10 years, take a deposit. Even if it's $100. If they don't come through, you made $100 for sitting on your ass that day. You know what I mean? That's the way that I look at it. I would rather shoot, of course, and actually, make the full amount. But if they want to bail, I mean, the deposit is non-refundable. Everybody knows how deposit works. So at least there's something, so you're not just sitting on your hands making absolutely nothing that day. And that's happened to me also. That's why I say it. I went to New York and I was very nice. I was like, oh, I've known you for 10 years. Yeah, we'll see you on that date. That date came along and they went, oh yeah, we're not gonna be able to do it. And I'm just standing there going like, well, I'm the dickhead for being that trusting. And in a situation like that, it, like, basically when I do family sessions in New York, every single session that I do pays for one extra day of me staying there. So I don't have to, it doesn't come out of my pocket, so to speak. So by doing that, I was like, I was a few $100 out. I'm like, oh, that's kind of annoying.
yeah, it's so I'll never make this mistake again. This is the first time that it's like like as an adult, you just assume that other adults are going to behave like adults. And
And
this
that's
one this one wound me up the most because I would send her tons of messages, not tons of messages. She had something happen to her and I'd follow up, "Hey, hope everything's okay with you, blah blah blah." I never ever brought up the deposit because she had something happen to her. So it's like I want to be a human being first and make sure Shorty's good. And I would talk to her about that. I'm like, hey, I have some fall dates for your engagement shoot. Here they are. She goes, okay, I'll look at them over the. So she was still communicating. And then when I finally hit her with the, hey, also, by the way, it's been 2 months and you haven't paid your deposit, I'm going to have to release that date if you don't pay it by the end of the week. Then the communication just completely stopped. And You hear people like on relationship advice, don't look for you and other people. That can translate
Mm-hmm.
to situations like this too. Just because I would make sure that the deposit was to somebody, a professional, immediately,
Mm-hmm.
does not mean that some other cats running around this planet are going to treat you the same way that you would treat them. And that's kind of what I learned in this.
Exactly. And not only that, dude, like I also think about when stuff like that is going on, it's happened before where they'll either put the deposit or they haven't even put the deposit down and we're just discussing and they break up. You know, like that's happened before. So you don't
Yeah.
know something might be going on and this wedding may not even happen. You know what I mean? Like that's also a possibility where they don't want to put a deposit, they don't want to lock anything in because maybe things are a little shaky right now. So, there's also that possibility.
Yeah, no, that is true. We've both had a situation where a wedding hasn't gone through before.
Yes, yes, we have. And we were there together. And we
Hmm.
made the best out of that day. That was a very fun day upstate.
Oh, we had a blast. Yeah, you don't. We had a man. We did the dumbest shit that day.
We were
We were
throwing
sitting
rocks
on
and shit.
logs, throwing rocks into water. Like we were like real children that day.
What else are we gonna do? You know what I mean? Like whatever. It's fine.
A couple of sweet boys sitting on logs in upstate New York.
Yep, exactly. Topics for podcast. I'm pulling it up right now.
I love this.
Um,
We do them live. We learn the topic live and we just go in like improv comedy.
Scott and other venues getting kicked out. What did I mean by that? Have you gotten kicked out of venues?
Yeah, I got kicked. Yeah,
All right,
by
go
a
on.
bride.
But wait, what?
A bride kicked me. Okay,
Go on.
there's no way she listens to this, so it's all Gucci. There was a wedding in Winston Salem.
Well, you don't have to get that specific. You can just
Oh,
say there
you're
was a
right.
bride.
Yeah, no, there was a wedding in Narnia, and a bride was bipolar. And now I didn't know Shorty was bipolar until I got there. And
Until you met the other half.
well, yeah, and then the way Shorty was moving was weird. Like Shorty was truly fire and ice. And like she'd
Mm.
say one thing, I'm like, that's so strange. I was just in that room a second ago, and she was really polite, and now she at the wedding reception, we were having our vendor meal, and she ran in there, and the DJ was in there, I was in there, video was in there, planner was in there, and she screamed at the DJ. She goes, "What is this?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Everybody wants to rip their ears off. This music you're playing is terrible." And like she was, and we were like, "Whoa!" Like so, like I assumed that he fucked up, and I'm like, "Oh, he
Right.
must have did something stupid." Well, we go back out there, and it's classic wedding reception stuff. He just put it on so he could eat, and he had like just like classics. Like there was slow stuff, there was fast stuff. Apparently, it wasn't up to snuff for her, so he got yelled at. Then, with 3 hours left to go in the reception, she kicked me out. She came up and said, "You can go." She goes, "We're done here. You can go." And that's how she said it. And I'm like, it's weird. She was an older bride, so I'm like, okay, maybe this chick is on some weird shit. She's on some like
Yeah.
1960s shit. So I was like, okay, whatever. I grabbed my shit. Well, then I sat down. I had a drink. I was sitting there with the planner's husband because he was there, and we just sitting there chatting. And then she walks up. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I told you you can go. That means you need to leave." And then me and the planner looked at each other like this, and I was like, "Well, I'll see you. I'll see you later, brother." And I grabbed my shit and I left. As I'm getting my stuff from the break room, he comes in. The planner comes in. They've been kicked out. Who else? The DJ has now been kicked out. He comes in. Everybody was kicked out except for some young girl that was running a photo booth. And it all. And
So
then like 2 days later, we got an apology email explaining her situation with whatever kind of mental health thing Shorty had. But it was like weirdest shit I've ever seen. I'm trying to remember. Have I been kicked out of other wedding venues? Maybe.
no, we just
I have
had
to
that
think about it.
New York one where we had to give it to the give it to the maitre d or whatever.
Yeah, we blessed him that day, but I don't know if there was. Yeah, I can't think of any others. I think that was it. I think yeah, that was a day. Me, an amazing planner. Shorty's name is Tracy Fink. Shout out to Tracy. And she did. Now she was hard headed. Tracy, love you, but she was Shorty was hard headed. She went back out and told the bride. She goes, no. She goes, I've been contracted to be here till 10. I'm going to be here till 10.
See, I'm gonna say this, and I'm sorry, Tracy, but if somebody, if the couple, and this has never happened to me, but if a couple tells me you're done here, bye. I'm not grabbing a motherfucking drink. I'm not grabbing. Sorry, Eddie. I know I'm just cursing again. I'm not grabbing anything. I'm grabbing my stuff, going home. I'm not gonna argue with you. You want me to go early? I'll go home early, happily. Listen, the check is already cleared, and if you want to be an asshole, I'm not gonna stay here and be disrespected. If you tell me you gotta go, bye. Out I go. I'm not gonna argue with you.
Not me, dog. I grabbed me a nice little Merlot. Your boy was over there
Mm-mm.
with some cheese and crackers. I was in the corner cooling. And Shorty came
Uh-uh.
up and was like, I'm sorry.
That's what you
I'm
got.
sorry.
That's what you got.
Yeah, me and Tracy's husband, boy, we was over there on the Merlot, boy. We was on the Merlots for a minute.
And
But
the bride was looking at you like, these motherfuckers are drinking on my dime. Out.
well, you know what? She was staring at us the whole time, and I was like, because I've never witnessed that. Like, oftentimes, like you'll have a bride and groom saying, "Hey, we love everything you did today. We love the engagement photos. Put your cameras down. We're done. Just enjoy the party." You've had people tell you that, right?
Yes.
So I assumed it was on a tip like that when she was like, "Hey, we're done with photos." So I was like, "All right," and like, but like I just kicked it in the corner with my man, 50 grand, because I've worked so many weddings with Tracy and her husband, so he helps her out. So I just thought it was like her saying, "Hey, you can clock out." So I was like, "Gucci." I grabbed me a plate with crackers and cheese, maybe a few slices of salami, a little plastic glass of Merlot, and your boy was in the corner talking to my
Cooling.
man about Camelot, and we was keeping everything
Cooling.
fire. We was over there we was over there holding court like the finer things group in the office.
So
We was
you're telling me in essence, you didn't read the room on that one.
didn't read well, see, yeah, I didn't read the whole time that this was happening. Shorty is off, like I'm looking at my man straight ahead. Shorty was off this way, and so like he and I were laughing, we're having a good time, and then I peeped over and I'm like, what's up? I was like, what's up with Shorty? She looking angry. He's like, yeah, Shorty angry. Shorty came over and then blessed us and was like, put the cheese and crackers down. You're done with the Merlot. Go back to the room, get your shit, and get out of here. So, you know. But then we got the email the day after saying, "Hey, I'm on one." So,
But
I forgave her for that.
I mean, the thing is, though, something like that. I mean, of course, you don't have to disclose anything that you don't want. But I do feel like that is something. Maybe, hey, listen, if I act a certain way, just giving you guys a heads up. It's nothing personal. This is what's going on in my life, and you would have been a lot more understanding, and you would have been more. I feel like attentive to what's going on. You would have been a little bit more in tune with what's happening. You know what I mean? Like a little heads up would have been nice.
A heads up. Come to me. It can be discreet. It can be like, listen,
Mm-hmm.
every day I'm batshit crazy. My brain is not wired right. There could be a point today where I tell you to get the fuck out of here.
Because I'll tell you this, Scott, we get this all the time where a bride will tell me, like in secret, his mom is a
Oh
little
yeah.
overwhelming, a little overbearing. So just politely let her know that this is not her day. This is our day. And just let her know that. And then that helps me because then I go, let your mother know that during cocktail hour, our second photographer is going to follow her around the entire time for whatever groups that her little heart desires. That way, mom's happy, the couple's happy, everybody's happy. And it makes our life easier because now our second photographer doesn't have to search for people to do groups with. Hey, mom, which groups do you want? Let's go get them. Everybody's happy.
See, I should have known something was up earlier in the day. Have you seen the movie Braveheart?
No, I didn't. No.
Mel Gibson.
No, yeah,
You
I
know,
know the scene, but yeah, I've never watched it.
it's on some it's on some barbarian shit. You know that, right?
Hmm.
When I went to do the getting ready shots of my man, his outfit had fur on it. Like he looked like when he was all dressed up, he looked like William Wallace in Braveheart. So I should have known something was
Googling.
up then because he looked like he was about to slay a dragon. And I'm going to tell you another thing. I'm going to take this one step further. Hashtag professionalism. Money knew she was a problem because guess what? 2 hours before we got kicked out, my man went upstairs. This was in a hotel. He went up to their room and went to sleep. This is during the reception.
The groom.
By 8:10, Money was asleep. He knew what we were about to be dealing with.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, William Wallace went to bed. Man had more fur on him than a damn buffalo. You should have seen the outfit. It was like beaver pelts. Like it was. I thought he just like came back from like hunting or like
Wait,
some kind of forage.
let's not describe the groom too much because that way it's really going to narrow it. Let me save you here. All right. Uh huh.
Oh, they don't even follow me on Instagram. This was a weird
I would.
occurrence.
I wouldn't imagine they would.
Yeah, no. Let me give you her social security number if I haven't given it away already. If I haven't given enough away. No,
Well, you
they
know what? Can I share something with you that I've been dealing with? Similar, like if we're sharing like difficult, situations.
12
Scott,
inches, right? Oh,
about.
I thought you was talking about your penis size. 12.
Yeah, yeah, just about.
Okay.
So, all right, Scott, you're gonna be the client right now, okay?
Yeah.
No matter what I say, I want you to say 6 p.m.
Yep.
So right now, sunset is about almost 8 o'clock, 8:01, 8:02, something like that. So I would recommend that we would start around 7. Honestly, even 7:15 is going to be fine because it's not going to take very long.
6 p.m.
Is that okay? Well, I think that at around 7:15, even 7, I think I can push it a little bit more. The lighting is going to be a little bit better. What
6
do you?
p.m.
Well, once again, we could do it at 6 p.m., but it's not going to give you great lighting. It's going to be very harsh behind them. I think that 7:15, something like that, 7 o'clock. I think we can do.
Nope, it's 6 p.m.
6 p.m. it is. Let's do it. That's what the fuck happened a few weeks ago. Because there's only so much that I'm going to argue with somebody, and at a certain point, I go, all right, whatever you want.
Keep
We
going.
ended up doing it. Yeah, we ended up doing it, and then about a week later, I get a phone call. Yeah, the photos, they were just a little harsh in the background. It was a little washed out. It seems like the lighting was just not really great. And I'm over here going, yes, I understand the lighting wasn't great. That's why I kept telling you a certain time. And there's only so much that I can tell you until, and I said this exactly what I'm saying right now. I said, there's only so much that I can tell you the correct time to shoot before my brain turns into customer service. And I go, okay, whatever you want. So this is why we did it at that time.
I mean, you tell me that all the time. Like, I had a shoot the other day where the couple was. I have to be careful about this one. So let me backtrack this. Yeah, basically the same situation where somebody's being persistent on a time that is not a good time, and at some point you just say, "All right, the check clears the same way as if it was a good time." So I'll be a good businessman here and get this bag, but like I've warned you.
Can I tell you how above and beyond I go though? I said, listen, there's still a pending balance on it. I'm going to give you even a sweeter deal. Don't pay it. Don't pay the final balance. This is what we want to do. If there's a family reunion coming up in the fall, I'm going to redo it and we're going to do it at the correct time. At the time that I let you guys know, so we know that the lighting is going to be good, and I'm happy to do the session then, and you can pay the remainder then. If you're happy to do that, I'm happy to do that. Still haven't heard from him, so whatever the fuck he wants. If not, get out of my life. I'm happy either way.
See, what wound me up the other day was it was a great looking couple. So it's like, fuck, we could have done some. I mean, we still cooked a bit, but like it was like, damn, if you would have just let me do what we had planned on before changing it the day of, like, why'd you do that? Like, it's just bad juju. Plus, it's like I don't go to like a dentist or an endodontist and then he tells me what needs to happen, and then I say, you know what? I think you can get into that tooth from this other area. Imagine me going to the dentist and be like, no, I think you're wrong on that. Your assessment's all fucked up. I think if we drill up, we're gonna. Imagine doing that.
Exactly. I used this analogy just last night with a groom. I was speaking to him about his wedding, and he said the same thing. He goes, when I call, and I forgot what analogy he used, but then I said, dude, I'm so happy that you say that, because I use an analogy of a plumber. When a plumber comes over, I'm not telling him what pipes to use. You know what the hell you're doing. That's why I called you. Otherwise, why are you asking me? Get the hell out. We're going to call somebody that knows what they're doing. So when I
Yeah.
tell you that the best, and I explain to you that the best lighting is going to be at a certain time, and I think that's why we should start at a certain time, and you're just going to be bullheaded and go, no, we're going to do it at this time. Whatever you want, pumpkin, we're going to do it at that time, and shit, let's hope for the best.
People hard headed. From one hard headed
Bullheaded, some would
person
say.
from one bullheaded person to another.
All right, I'm getting hot under the collar, so we're gonna shift gears. I would say let's do one more topic, because we both got things to do after this. Let me see here.
Which, for the people, y'all got to go check out the videos. I'm going to reiterate that he just put out some slappers on the new Magmod product, so go check that out.
Thank you, Scott.
You wankers,
I
you fucking wankers.
Now, let me see.
Eddie Fulrax isn't going to like this episode. There's been a lot of cursing.
I didn't see the comment. Did Eddie say something?
No. I mean, we haven't posted anytime soon enough to even get feedback from Eddie Fulrax, but
or anybody for that matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, here's a good one. Stories about older people not using Zelle, Venmo, Apple Pay, etc. Did I tell you about that?
No.
I've been having some issues, man. Generally speaking, with older couples, where they just don't want to use electronic payments. And I understand not wanting the man up your ass. I get that. But it just makes life a lot more difficult. I'm going to mail you a check and it'll be there in 2 weeks. Why? You can literally click a couple of buttons and you're done and you're set.
I'm surprised they didn't put it inside a bottle and just cast it out into the ocean. These old people have issues. And so I was at my mom's house the other day, and she had a fucking, that you can go get from Target. She had some kind of drawer system that she bought, like a cabinet, like a drawer cabinet that she bought from Target. It had 2 drawers. And then she had those accordion folders. You know, the folders that look like an accordion. She was doing her bills snail mail. Shorty had a checkbook out. She was writing checks. She was keeping a ledger. And I was like, Mom, what the fuck are you doing right now? And she goes, well, this is how I pay bills. And she had paper was everywhere. This cabinet was out. I said, Mom, what the fuck are you doing right now? Like, this could have been done in 5 minutes online. You got paper everywhere. This is madness.
Scott, can you explain to the people how your mom deposits checks, please? Because I think this is where it came from. Also,
she mails them in. She mails them in. She has no idea. Like, she's truly stuck in the 50s or the 60s. Like, she thinks, so her bank is USAA, which is based out of like Texas, San Antonio. And so anytime she gets anything, Shorty was mailing cash. And I had to stop her. I was like, you can't mail cash.
You didn't tell me that.
Like, I wouldn't be shocked if she mailed in change as well. I was like, you can go to an ATM and deposit this cash for like a fee. I was like, at $3, you can go deposit this. Like, what are we doing?
Wait, my bank doesn't even charge you to deposit. It just takes your money and goes, here it is.
No. I'm saying if she went to, because USAA is a military bank and they don't have many ATMs or locations. So she would most likely be making this at like a Bank of America ATM. But even then, $3 versus you mailing shit in and waiting 2 weeks before you see your money. Like, it's so stupid. And I was like, I'll pay the $3.
And if you're sending cash, the possibility of that not even making it there.
Old people are stupid.
No,
and it's
it's not.
beyond hard headed.
They're just set in their ways, man. My mom is the same way. She won't download a freaking banking app. I go, what are you scared of? They're gonna take my information. I'm like, I don't think that's how it works, Mom. But yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you. You know, you pick and choose your battles with your parents too. You don't pick and choose. You kind of battle every time. I've seen you.
Yeah, we got me and Mom's got a unique relationship. Like I love it. Like I be talking to, I just, what the fuck are
Can
you
you?
doing, lady? Whatever
Can
I
you?
want.
Yes. Can you share with the people what you and your brother used to do, please? And then we'll close out on that.
Oh man, I used to prank call. So we do really good impressions of her. So we would
Hello.
anytime.
Hello.
Oh hi, hey Debbie, I'm going to go out to lunch to El Vallarta today. Would you like to meet me there at noon?
Oh yeah, that would be lovely. I'll see you there at noon.
Okay, and get there just a little bit early and grab us a table if you would.
Oh, absolutely. I'll see you
I'll
there
see
at
you
noon. I'll get us
then.
a table.
It's
Okay,
my
and
treat
I'll
today. Bye. And we would call all her friends. There was some chick named Judith Flocka. I would call Judy all the time. I'd be like, Judy. I would call Judy. I'd be like, oh, hi, Judy. You know we love that Italian place, Salerno's. Meet me in Mainz at Salerno's at noon. And Judy
oh
would be
yeah,
like, okay, Joanna.
I'll see you there at noon. Absolutely, and I'll get Frederick to come with us too. We'll see you there.
Yeah, I've got some errands, so I may be a few minutes late. If I'm running late, just stay there.
Okay, yeah, no problem. We'll see you there.
Yeah, had Judy's fuck ass there for like 3 hours.
The thing is, though, the voice is uncanny. You guys, like you, I don't know how your brother does it, but yours is just the inflection, everything.
Oh, we would follow up if we told Judy to be there at 12 and like at 12:30 or 12:40 hit, like we'd call her like, I'm almost there. Can you get me the caprese salad and a pepperoni? I'll be there in a minute.
Tell the people what happens a couple of days later.
Man, me and Tom was grounded all the time, but like our groundings never stuck because she would ground us, but then she'd get on that couch and she'd get a pizza in her system and she'd get that ice cream in her system, and then she'd be like, fuck it, y'all just go do whatever.
And then she'd make luggage out of that couch.
Yeah, she'd make luggage out of that couch. And some
All
poor
right.
bastard is running around with that luggage today smelling like ass. This has
All
been a
right.
slap.
So I think you should close out the podcast in Joanna's voice.
Thanks for tuning in. Meet us tomorrow at Salerno's at noon for a caprese and a pepperoni. Bye, fuckers. Sorry, Eddie Fulrax. We had a few curse words today. All right.
Perfect.
Well, all right, babies.
We'll see you next year.
Yep. Next podcast will be in 6 months. See ya. Bye, lovers.